Hey, Joe here. I'm the custodian at ignitiondiecast.com, but this channel is mostly a video diary of my personal collecting, hijinks, successes, failures. Walk with me now as I open and talk about cars, trucks, and sometimes even action figures. I usually interject some sassy Gen X commentary about the hobby, tales from the toy aisle, and society itself. So be sure to like, subscribe, share, and definitely comment. Your opinion matters. Good morning, Joe here. I did not do a video yesterday on Tuesday because I feel like we're in some sort of a Tuesday loop or Tuesday tractor beam where like 4 or 5 days a week it's Tuesday. And I don't know how to break out of it, so I'm just ignoring Tuesdays and not doing anything on those particular days until further notice, until we return to a situation where only one day a week is a Tuesday. And hopefully that won't be long, because yeah, it's really, really strange. It's like Twilight Zone type shit. So I'm just gonna ignore Tuesdays until further notice. So it's been very dry, toy-wise, model cars, diecast. Speaking in this area, not a lot has been released. I feel like we're in a trough as far as like release dates. The Family Dollar, Dollar Tree exclusives like never seem to have hit this area. I can never find red editions. The L cars. Like, can we talk about the pink Porsche for a minute? Everybody's freaking out about the 711 Supra, but man, that pink Porsche GT3 from the L case is nowhere to be found. And it's also in the M case, 2 per case. So I'm hoping that it becomes a little more prevalent, because they need at least one more for the Ignition Diecast Archive thing. But I did go out yesterday. I went to this one getting place, and I found 2 boulevards, which kind of blew my mind, because, I mean, the locusts must have been like asleep or out of town or something, because these are highly resellable and they're fairly recent. I don't know why they didn't buy them all and get them on eBay as soon as possible. So I found this 17 Ford GT, which I collect the specific casting. So as soon as I saw the preview of it, I knew that I wanted one. It's already been split to prevent me from struggling with that plastic on camera. It's got a nice black underside, real riders, black interior. Pretty damn awesome. This was a must-have. I had to have this, and would have paid $1 million for it if I had to, but lo and behold, I found it at Walmart and only had to pay their recently increased price of like $7.78, something like that. I also found an Altezza. What year is it? A 98 Toyota Altezza. And this is the same car as the Lexus IS, I think, for one generation. In Japan, it was called the Toyota Altezza. In the US, it was called the IS 200, maybe. But only for the first gen or so. There were a couple revisions of the first gen, but then by the second generation of the IS, the Lexus IS, already been split, they introduced the Lexus brand in Japan. So they stopped calling this the Toyota Altezza and just called it the Lexus IS, just like everywhere else, or at least here in the States. But this is a modified Gen 1 Altezza, aka Lexus IS, carbon fiber hood. And I didn't notice which side drive it is. Can't really see in there. The windows are so damn tinted. But I like this. I don't really collect Altezzas or Lexus on a regular basis, but it was there and I had to seize the opportunity, and I'd rather keep it than sell it. So this is going to go in my Toyota box for now until I have a Altezza or IS streak going on. So it's Wishlist Wednesday, and traditionally, at least for the past couple weeks, I've been telling you what I'm out there looking for. hoping to find. It's always like current stuff that I have a chance of coming across on the pegs, but I just haven't yet. So this is kind of like a call for trades if you happen to have some extras of these. But they're going to go on my list, and if enough time goes by, I'll just buy them. So this week, it's all red editions because I'm not finding... I go to Target almost every day at different times, and I never come across red editions. So I think there's someone in my area that's just buying them all. Like, look for those specifically because you can sell them for like $5 on the secondary market. So the 2020 Mustang Shelby GT500 Red Edition, I need 2 of those because I want one, and the Ignition Diecast Master Set needs one. This Huracan Surfaro Red Edition, need 2 of those because I want one, and one for the archive. The 2020 Ram 1500 Rebel Red Edition, need 2 because I keep Dodge trucks, Ram trucks, and one for the library. The Datsun 240Z Red Edition, I very much collect Datsun 240s, so I gotta have one, and the archive wants one too. And then this one's from last year, the Alfa Romeo GT V6 3.0 Red Edition. It's black. It's a red edition, but it's black. The archive has one, so we're cool there. So I need one for myself, for my newly established Alpha box. And just as a random bonus item, I think there was one of those Alpha GT V6s in the World Tour series. The Chase, the black one, that's on my list too, but it's definitely not in stores anymore, and I know anyone who made a point of getting that probably isn't giving it up, so I just mention it. And it's on my list. If you go to ignitiondiecast.com, there's a news section called Trade List, and I try to keep it current of the stuff that I'm looking for. And as it says right there on that page, anything in stock at Ignition Diecast is available for trade. So hopefully we can work something out. So pictures of these 5 cars to follow at the end of the video. And my 2 cents today, it's not so much a 2 cents as it is a fireside chat, stories with Grandpa Joe. We lost Ozzy Osbourne yesterday, which we kind of saw coming. Guy did not take good care of himself most of his life, and you could tell he was deteriorating much faster than the other 3 founding members of Black Sabbath. So here's my little Ozzy story. When I was 10 years old, I had a lot of uncles who were like stoner, heavy metalhead stoner types. And when I was 10 years old, 1980, I was outside my uncle's room, and he had some of his records outside of his room. Stuff that I don't know why it was outside, not in his room, but Black Sabbath's Paranoid was there. And as a 10-year-old, I'm looking at this record thinking, my initial impressions were, these guys don't look like they're dressed up very much. They're not wearing like silk shirts and velvet jackets and stuff. They just like look like stoner guys, like my uncles. Like that. I remember thinking, these guys on the back of this record look like people in my life, like just these stoner guys like my uncle. And I also remember looking at the front cover and thinking, as a 10-year-old, if they're going to go through the trouble of releasing this record, why didn't they get a photographer who could make the guy on the cover in focus? Why is the front cover blurry? Like, that seems pretty amateur for a big band that's going to put out a record and everything. So that was my first exposure to Black Sabbath, and I remember the name. Later on, like 11, 12, 13 or so, I became aware of Ozzy Osbourne because my neighbors, the Morgans, were into hard rock, especially the oldest brother. And they had the first 2 Ozzy albums, and it must have been around 83, they had the cassette tape of Bark at the Moon. And I remember there being conversation about how crazy this dude was. I know the controversy about Suicide Solution had happened already, and possibly the biting of the head of the bat off or something. But in our little kid minds, Ozzy Osbourne was like this crazy, demonic guy like Alice Cooper, and we believed every myth and every story that came our way. So it was like nutcase. And later on, around that same time, like 83, I was at my grandmother's house, and I was watching Night Flight, which was this series that used to be on the USA Network. And they were showing the movie, the heavy metal movie, the animated feature-length thing by Heavy Metal Magazine. And as a 13-year-old, I was like, this is pretty weak. Like, there's no real heavy metal in it. I mean, like, Don Henley? What the hell is this all about? But there's one scene where this Black Sabbath song kicks off, and it's Mob Rules, The Mob Rules from the Mob Rules album with Dio singing. And I was like, holy shit, this record. So I was like, man, that is metal. That's really awesome. I love it. And as a 13-year-old, I was already buying records, so I went out and I bought the Black Sabbath Mob Rules album. And in my mind, the vocalist for Black Sabbath is Ronnie James Dio. That's just like a fact. I didn't know much about the rest of their discography, and this was pre-internet, obviously. And my stepdad, I guess one day he heard me listening to Mob Rules, and he comes down with this record. And he goes, you should check this out. If you like Black Sabbath, you should listen to their earlier stuff. It's much, it's a lot, it's as cool, it's cooler, whatever he said. And I looked at the back of the record, and I was like, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne was in Black Sabbath? And he's like, yeah, he put out like 8 records with them before they started switching up their vocalists. They had Dio, and they had the guy from Deep Purple. I was like, Deep Purple was in, Ian Gillan was in Black Sabbath, and Ozzy Osbourne, like, this all makes perfect sense. And that was kind of like a big bang moment. Like, literally at age 14, I became primarily a Black Sabbath fan. Throughout my life, there were different bands that I would say are my favorite band, but I always came back to Sabbath. And through my 30s, 40s, and even now, I'm in my 50s, and I can honestly say that Black Sabbath are the greatest band that ever existed. And particularly the years with Ozzy, even though I love those Dio years, I even like the later years where it was just mostly Tony Iommi. But yeah, amazing band. And Ozzy's death kind of makes me realize that that's where I come from. Like, heavy music is so much a part of me that I need to find some way to bring that back into the fold. I'm not going to return to the Shade Beast thing, but maybe Ignition will start carrying records also. I don't know. I need to get back into collecting records because I do love them. I mean, I handled those yesterday, thinking about Ozzy, and just brought me back to how much I love that music. So happy Wednesday. Here's some pictures of my wish list, and tomorrow's a harmless Thursday, so I will talk to you then. Later. Keep it fun.